And welcome back, guys. Today is Saturday, September 20th. Yeah! We are the Buggy-sama Fan Club, and we are here to talk about some stuff. Haha, it's your boy Jahan here with
Alex.
And a special guest all the way from Japan,
John.
Yeah!
Woo!
Yeah, so we were unable to hit our One Piece discussion last week due to the length of the other two. So this week we're going to talk about the Bleach chapter that was updated, last week's One Piece chapter, as well as this week's One Piece chapter.
What did you say? One cheap?
Oh yeah, one cheap.
One cheap? Oh, like chapter, like One Piece chapter. One cheap, yeah.
One cheap.
One Piece.
Yeah,
Cheap suits?
We got double piece, dude.
Cheap
This week.
suits.
Cheap suits?
Cheap as hell.
Yeah. How cheap? We got a One Piece doubleheader for you guys. And hopefully a more streamlined discussion.
Yeah, we're also doing something else new this time. That's right, guys.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how
if
it
it's
goes, guys. But it's an experimental phase, just as we are in right now. Especially Alex, he's been experimenting with all sorts of different guys and shit. All right, just kidding. Back to our book here. We're gonna start with Bleach, chapter 597, Winded by the Shadow.
Oh,
What?
we got a new title. I didn't realize.
And what an excellent name for a title. Winded by the Shadow. Alright, as a quick recap of the entire chapter, Pepe gets presumably eaten by Lily Toto, or whatever freaking
It's
name.
Lil Toto, dude.
Lil Toto?
Lil Toto.
Lil Toto? What a thug, dude.
Lil Tots, yeah.
Lil Toto.
Are those like
And,
wings that are coming up on her? Is that what I see?
those are the mouth. Oh no.
On her shoulders? It looks like ethereal energy is kind of.
Oh,
coming
those
up on
are
her.
wings.
Yeah, those are wings, huh?
And they're
I believe
shaped like
she's
her
in
mouth.
Volstandig.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah. The betrayal amongst the Stern Ritter is heavy. And we see here that, I don't even know what this guy's name is, but one of the Zero Squad guys is struggling. He says, I can't land a hit on him. He's the water
He's
guy.
like the medical guy, I guess.
Yeah, the water guy. That you get into his pool and he heals you.
Yep.
Step into my pool, little boy. So, like, he's trying to swing at Juhabak, but nothing's happening. So Juhabak waltzes by him, saying, "Oh, we'll call it a stalemate because you can't fight me." Goes up to the next one. I forget what she did. Is she the one
We
that
never
made
found
the
out.
clothes?
I don't think it was ever disclosed what she could do.
Okay.
The other guy made the clones.
No, the clothes.
Oh, the clothes?
Yeah,
No.
didn't she give him the clothes? Like, this will protect you when you go through the barrier going back to...
Yeah, I think so.
to Soul Society.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, she has like an armored guard. They kind of look cool with the hair ties and stuff and the masks. And they can't swing at Juhabak either, but
They're doing like a little dance.
yeah, they're dancing around him, dude. And he's like talking shit. And then the name of the chapter comes out, Winded by the Shadow. This little dude comes out of like the ground as black stuff, kind of like Zetsu.
With a lisp.
Kind of like Zetsu.
Yeah, with a lisp.
I didn't really get that sort of connection.
His name is Nyanzel Wezel, Stern Ritter W. The
Who
win.
has two tongues? Like has a weird lisp because
Dude,
of his tongues.
He can eat two people out at the same time. Dude. He can go.
Damn,
like,
that's
he can go ass and pussy at the same time, dude.
that's gangster.
That is like the ultimate power.
Imagine that blowjob quality,
Yeah. Oh my god.
dude.
The pink and the stink.
Christ.
So they all get into the cannon and they blast off. It's finally ready to go. They did all their magic, and it seems like it's not just Ichigo. It's Inoue and what's her name again?
Yoruichi.
Yoruichi. Yeah, Yoruichi all got it.
Yoruichi, dude.
So that's like a quick recap of the chapter. Got a couple more individual points that we would like to go over. I guess like to start us off, the analysis of the fact that they can't hit him, and it's like pretty much indirectly saying that like this guy is the reason that they can't hit Juhabak. And
I think it's pretty directly saying that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Maybe he's like, because remember when like when Yamamoto thought he killed Juhabak the first time, and it was like, oh, it was that weird ass dude.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's another illusion. But
He's got all these like bitches ready to sacrifice for him.
yeah, well, he runs
Like
a
he
tight
had
ship,
that
dude.
that twin guy.
He runs.
Yeah, he does run a tight ass ship. He's like at night he puts on his little white glove. He goes around. Have you been bad today? Have you been naughty?
Hey, so I just did some research real quick. The girl's name is Senju Maru Shitara, and her powers, apparently, according to the Bleach Wikia, is she has immense spiritual power as a captain class combatant and current member of the Royal Guard. All it says is Senju Maru has an immense amount of spiritual power, and then she has this power called Oken, where she has Oken imparted in her bones, which grants her the ability to travel in between and out of the Soul King's palace. And she can grant people access just by willing it, apparently.
Oh, so
it doesn't really
she is the
mention,
one that sent him off there.
Yeah, it doesn't mention the clothes, but I imagine she must have been the one to do that.
Yeah.
She has a pretty cool power though.
I would like to point out like an important piece here on page 11. She says it's been a while, Yuhak.
Yeah.
So they like know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember if he recognized the first Zero Squad guy.
Well, because Yuak's supposed to be like 1,000 years old or whatever. Right?
Yeah,
like he
probably
like
even more
was
than
he was
that.
like friends with Yamamoto, wasn't he? Back in the day. So
I
it
wonder-
makes sense.
I wonder if being in the Zero Guard grants you like eternal youth, because it seems like Genryu-sai aged like a motherfucker. All these people are super young still.
Oh, that's a good point,
So-
huh? Maybe like
That would
when he
Because he's like they know. I'm sure they all know. Yamamoto,
yeah.
but they're all like Byakuya's age. So
Yeah, like probably like something. It has something to do with the spiritual plane that they're on, where it's like the sort of ethereal like matter around them is so like dense that I don't know, like time itself doesn't move, or something.
that'd be gnar. But I think, damn man, the wind guy. If he was any kind of smart, he wouldn't have revealed himself like that quickly.
Yeah.
It was me, guys.
He was like, we got past the first guy. Now I'm good.
Yeah. Shit.
I thought this drawing on page 14 was an awesome drawing where they're like surrounding him.
Yeah.
And then they're doing the dance.
Yeah.
They're like initiating him into like I don't know.
You can dance if you wanna.
I thought they were like doing like some sort of like sort of collaborative attack on him, you have to like do this sort of like body symbol, like everyone's connected so they can all
Yeah. I
some sort
thought
of
like
super
an
attack.
energy beam was gonna come out of the sky and destroy him or something. I thought it was like part of their attack formation, but turns out they're just tripping. It's what do you guys? All right, to talk about this weird ass Stern Ritter W, like Bush. He says it's called the wind, and how do you think that plays into them like not being able to strike him? Because it doesn't seem like it'll be like the wind like alters their swing at the last second. Because guys on that scale would have to know, like, oh, my swing got altered. Like,
yeah, they'd be perceptive enough to figure that out.
yeah. It can't be that just like he's like redirecting their attacks.
What if that is literally what it is though?
That'll
Just
be,
wind.
Yeah,
that'll just be the saddest thing ever.
because his name is the Wind, right? So it's like
Could be some weird like reverse air vortex thing that kind of surrounds. I don't know. It probably literally is just.
And like
Maybe
to be like
I
an
don't know.
illusion thing where he's like looking over here when he's over here. That's just like so cheesy. Like how are these guys unable to overcome that either? Like just do a swing that like hits all of them.
What if they like? What if he charged at him and then like, the wind kind of pushed him around and then he ended up like stabbing Ishida on accident?
Oh,
Like cut his head off. Like oh, whoops.
there goes that part of the story. Watch
Yeah.
Kubo be like, I actually don't want to explain how this happened, so I'm gonna kill Ishida off like that. Actually,
stupid.
God, the fucking tongues, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is kind of lame, to be honest. It's like, it's a pretty common trope in, like, manga, where if, like, the antagonist can ignore certain characters, like, entirely, like, it basically just means that they're below whoever the antagonizing force is. It's in almost every manga where it's like you're so below me in terms of power that I can just not even address you. And
I kind of like how he's using his own people though to do that.
Yeah, and yeah,
it's a little different, but yeah, I know.
There's like a variation
it's
to it because it's like, oh, okay, there's this guy who's basically Black Setsu that you can't see, who just, he has this power apparently. But I mean, it doesn't really change the fact that that's kind of like what the plot device purpose is.
It's kind of really common in shonen, I think.
It really, yeah, it definitely is. But it's just lame because like Kubo kind of built up the Zero Division for like a pretty long time, right?
Oh, well, they did the same with Yamamoto too.
Yeah,
but
that
was a troll.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly like,
and that happened to Yamamoto twice. Real quick, the first time is when they did the war where the Espada attacked, and he like sacrificed his arm in a huge explosion that did nothing to Aizen. And then the second time is when the freaking Quincy's attacked, and he actually died and did nothing. So, yeah, Kubo's strong with that part of the or manga telling.
Yeah, he's just making it worse though by basically making the Zero Division kind of like useless. Yeah,
it's okay. Ichigo can go Super Saiyan, guys.
Hitsugaya.
Ichigo.
Oh, Ichigo, yeah.
I would love to see these guys go all out against him, but
yeah, it'd be awesome, dude. Yeah,
to see him have to actually fight one of them individually to get to it, like like beating the levels of a stage before you get to the final boss. That's something that's in our blood ever since we've been kids. Like that's something that we need to see happen. But it's like he's basically using hacks, like up down, left right.
Yeah, jumping right over the level, dude.
It's the Contra code, man.
Yeah, dude.
Bastards.
What would have been interesting is if we got like a scene where Ichigo fights Yamamoto. Like for real. I would have been down to see something like that.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Definitely.
I don't know what the circumstances would be. I'm guessing it would have to be some sort of like moral debate between the two about like what's right and what's not right.
Yeah.
Sort of kind of like absolute justice versus like sort of friends. Yeah, basically. But I feel like it'd be pretty interesting.
Or like back when Ichigo still didn't have a grasp of his hollow stuff, and he kind of went balls out against Soul Society, and then Genri Isai steps up.
Yeah, no, that's perfect because it's kind of like, because weren't they kind of like suspicious of people with hollow powers at the time?
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost kind of like they had to eradicate him.
Yeah, that was like the purpose of his badge, I guess they revealed. The substitute badge.
Yeah.
It can like end your life on a whim. If they choose to. But yeah, that would have been cool because he had that ultimate hollow form when he fought Ulquiorra.
Yeah.
It was pretty OP. That would have been fun to see, like, Yamamoto put him down.
On that subject, it's so fucking lame that concept got trashed because that was probably the coolest concept in Bleach as far as character design for Ichigo is concerned.
Yeah,
going into the full hollow form.
Yeah, dude. Like, cool. I'm really surprised that didn't really make a return and solidify. Like, it just kind of came as this thing that he could only use it for like 30 seconds, or if he was going to turn into it, he'd be completely out of control. And it was never this sort of thing that he actually reined in and was able to utilize as like his own personal sort of like a reservoir of strength, I guess,
Yeah.
And like we see it in a lot of other stories where people have like a power level like that, and then they have to like train and overcome and like get it.
Yeah.
Like the Hulk. It happens in Berserk. He puts on this thing called the Berserker's armor, and like he basically goes into rage mode, and he feels no pain.
Yeah, it's a really common trope for sure. It's like initially out of your control, and then eventually.
And it's like hurting you and your allies around you. Yeah, and, oh my god, it's so scary! You have to learn to control it, or you can't win. Oh.
Or even with Luffy in One Piece with his Gear 2nd and Gear 3, like it was like killing him on the inside, and it wasn't until later on that he specifically states that he can do it now at a whim where it doesn't really hurt his body.
Wait, was it killing him?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
It was like shortening his lifespan. Apparently, especially Gear 2nd, because he was like raising his blood pressure to like immense sort of heights, I guess.
Dude, the life he lives is shortening his lifespan. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Going up against, like, remember when he got like partially frozen by Aokiji? I was like, I'm really surprised he survived that.
Yeah, and he took that poison too. Remember?
And when he gets
and that poison. Yeah,
he gets sanded by crocodile. Like that's kind of a big deal as a rubber man. Like,
he got beaten to a pulp by the jaguar guy. I forgot his name.
Rob
Lucci.
Rob Lucci. Such a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the CP9 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, it's a fairly common trope for sure. But I
I
mean,
would have
like,
loved to see that form. Yeah, like you said, it was cool.
yeah, I just like I feel like it'd be lame though if like Kubo, like his thought process was something along the lines of, yeah, but all the other ones do it, so fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, everyone else does it. I want to be different, so like I'm just like, you know, like, fuck that stupid awesome idea I had.
Yeah.
You know? like it was like the coolest design. By far.
And like shooting Ceros off, like I thought that was cool back at then. You know,
Yeah.
I thought Ceros were cool for a second, but that's like not a non-factor now.
Yeah.
And it would have
Just
played
anything-
in completely because like the Quincy's are like weak against the Hollows or something like that. Like, you remember like they all took
They're like
a hollow
sworn
pill.
enemies. Yeah.
They took
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
a
yeah.
hollow pill and they can't take their Bankai anymore. And that would make the most sense against Ichigo to like beat all these Quincy's, you know.
Yep.
All right, well that didn't happen, so sucks.
Kubo's too hip.
And this is kind of like a whack question, but do you think Juhabak could have beat anyone in the Zero Squad? You think he's doing this because he's scared? Or like because he's like, I don't know, he's like too cocky, like, oh, I don't have to fight you, weak ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of already put my point across. I think that this happening is the manga's sort of way of kind of expressing that he's above all of them. Which, I mean, I think we kind of already knew that this was going to happen. But, like, to actually see it happen kind of sucks, in my opinion.
Well, no, I didn't expect this at all. I thought Juhabak was just going to beat them, but he's literally not even, like, interacting with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, same difference, though, really. It's like, because
No,
we were
but it's
talking...
not the same difference, because, like, if he beat them, they'd be incapacitated to fight any longer, and it would show him as being, like, truly powerful, whereas, like, this way, we can only assume that he's stronger than them, and they're still there to, like...
Right. I
to
mean,
stab him
so
in the back or
you're debating specifics, but basically what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, are they going to be the ones to do anything against this guy? No.
No.
Not whatsoever. So, I mean, regardless of whether or not they get KO'd off-screen, or within, like, a few panels of a chapter, or if he just ignores them entirely, it's still, the result is still the same, I guess is what I'm getting at. It's like...
I think it would be a really interesting fight if like all of them kind of teamed up, because they have to have some synergy at this point. They've been together for like
actually,
a millennia.
That's a great point, actually. Like, to see all five of them going at him. I mean, because, I mean, on some level we know that, like, from a sort of plot perspective, like, it has to be that they can't stop him, because we know that the main character has to stop him, right?
Right.
But at the very least, you can kind of entertain us with, like, a really huge spectacle of, like, of combats. Like, all five against him would have been pretty insane.
I think they could probably give him a nice run for their money or whatever, but, you know, he also has that Bankai, Yamamoto's, so it would probably be his trump card.
Burn
Ultimately.
the whole place down.
But do you think, like, Yamamoto could take all of them on, though?
I just mean as kind of an addition to whatever power he has.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because he's pretty strong already.
Right. Kind of like a Blackbeard, in how he has like the Whitebeard's power on top of everything he has. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
It's just like a stacked power.
Right.
But then, if he beat all five of the Zero Squad, and Ichigo came and beat him,
Yeah,
like,
that.
what the fuck is Ichigo made of, you know? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's what's gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen though, because that's just the way this manga is like kind of. I mean, in almost every manga, you know that this is sort of like what's gonna end up happening anyway. You're gonna establish sort of hierarchies of power. But at the end of the day, the protagonist trumps all, and he gains some sort of ability that supersedes any other hierarchy that was originally established. But most mangas, at least, put in a huge effort into reasoning out why that is. You know what I mean? And like, for here, it's just kind of like, it's almost like he's just saying, you already know what the deal is. Like, you already know how these things work, so let's just accept it for what it is. Like, Ichigo can come in being shot up from a cannon, and he's gonna do all right. Everything's gonna be great. You know, like but you know that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, in my way, the best way for that to play out would have been like, he beats all of these Zero Squad guys like one by one in a tiered type thing, because like they all come to an agreement. Like, if we're all in the same place and they have like one massive attack and they kill all five of us at once, then it's a problem. So we got to take him one at a time, and if he beats one, goes to the next, and in like a defensive like formation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know
and
what?
after beating them one by one, like then like he goes, and then Ichigo has to come in and be like, all right, like now I'm stronger than one of these guys. Like
maybe if they established a hierarchy within the Zero Division, and like they had like the sort of like I guess commander in chief of the Zero Division, which I think might be the fat dude, the big guy.
the monk-looking guy.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure. But I mean, whoever's the higher up, right? And his right-hand man, go 2-1 on him, and then the 3 others take out his sort of cronies that are with him right now. Juho Box. Because he has, like, he's got, like, his right-hand man with him, right?
Yeah.
And apparently he's still in Red W now.
Yeah.
So, and then Ishida, right, is with him too, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What I think is going to happen is, Ichigo's going to come in and be like, oh, by the way, my ultimate power is to null everyone else's powers. So now all of them don't have any Ryatu, and they have to fist fight as normal humans. That's how the story ends, alright? They have to fist fight as normal humans, and Ichigo's like, oh, I used to get into street fights all the time back when I was a normal dude. And Juhobok's like, oh, I've only used swords to kill people. What do I do? And he gets his ass kicked by Ichigo, and that's how the story ends.
I think it ends with him playing a very calm game of checkers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you beat me...
Winner takes all.
If you beat me in Mahjong...
Mahjong. Connect 4, dude.
It ends with Wizard's chess.
Wizard's chess. Ron!
Hurry!
What is it where he's like...
That was pretty accurate, though, actually.
He's like, knight to E5!
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't even know, dude.
Doya Gord Ale! Alright. We're back to our world. I think on that note, we can wrap it up here for Bleach.
For sure.
Excellent discussion, guys. We'll probably go back. You think we're going to go back to the Sarete at all? Or you think he's going to play out the rest of the arc here, and then when they go back to Sarete, off screen, everyone had already duked it out, and that's how it looks like?
We're probably gonna go back. Like, we still haven't seen Renji versus, what's his face? Fire.
Bazz-B,
yeah.
But at this point, like...
It's not as important as what's going on.
Yeah. Like, even Ichigo has left there. So all the main players in this scenario, in this arc, are up here. So everyone else that's, like, of less significance is down there.
Right. Yeah.
For now, I hope he dedicates, like, the next, handful of chapters to just this area.
Yeah.
Because we did just get a lot of Sarete, so now let's go back.
Because the way that I think about it, like, no matter who wins in Sarete right now, it doesn't matter. Who wins
Right.
up here will determine the fate of everything. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
which sucks, but it's true. All right, guys, we're moving on to One Piece here. Have a little special for you today, guys. Yeah, we're doing a double header. One Piece 760.
Oh shit!
The same bet, and One Piece 761. The Ope-Ope Gangnam Style fruit.
Nice.
It's like, nah, I sound like stupid.
Alright, to go over these chapters real quick. I'll go over quicker than I did in the last one.
Let's start with 760.
760, the same
course.
bet. Sabo's getting chewed out for coming to an agreement after, Okay, so it says here that, like, he was supposed to do something specific. He was sent there by the Revolutionary Army for one specific task, and he failed by getting into a fight with Fujitora. Fujitora and Sabo have come to some kind of agreement where they stop fighting. The people bow down to King Ruki. They're like, oh, you're our king again. Yeah, even though we've talked shit about you for the past, 7 years.
Even though we tired you up just a second ago.
Yeah.
We're
Wait,
gonna
hold on.
cut
I have a question. Do you think the Revolutionary Army's intel was good enough to find out that Doflamingo had the fruit and that's why they sent Sabo, or that's why he volunteered, or do you think it was just like dumb luck?
No,
that
I think the Revolutionary Army went for it.
Wait, I felt...
Because didn't Doflamingo only reveal sort of right before the tournament,
No,
the winner gets this?
No, I don't think the Revolutionary Army went there because of the fire free. I think they went there to investigate the factory down below the island.
So it was kind of just like pure luck.
Yeah, I think it was coincidence because
Damn.
the main purpose, the reason why they were there is because it was Koala was looking at the ships down in the harbor, and she was like finding out apparently that like certain country insignias were on some of the cargo ships, right? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
She like flipped a thing and she was like,
Koala?
"Oh my god, this like this country's like symbol is on this ship." Like it was so like lazy. It was like they covered it up with like a piece of paper or something. You know, like, oh shit, this is like the United States flag, like right here. You know. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were just investigating the toy factory. Is that, or not the toy factory? The Smile Factory.
The Smile Factory.
Yeah.
Well,
Damn, Sabo is fucking lucky then, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really, really lucky.
Just got his hands on a Logia, like an A-class Logia for it.
Not just that, his brother's fucking Logia too.
he says what's her face is complaining. Says you're supposed to be maintaining your position, so he has to be there for something other than the Sad Factory, or
yeah. But I mean,
I think
obviously to
they
him,
were
it's like
supposed
it
to be
doesn't matter.
covert, huh? Completely covert.
Yeah.
Probably.
no one was supposed to know that they were there. But
Yeah.
I bet you, like, even his decision to go into the Coliseum to get the fire fruit, now that we're going over all of this, was just like, oh, dude, like...
Totally on a whim.
Yeah, like, I should totally go get that fire fruit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here. What a perfect day.
What a perfect day.
And,
what a tasty burger.
Fujitora walks up on these fools, and they're like, oh, shit, it's Fujitora. And they're all scared, especially Usopp's face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, King Riku,
Classic.
like, I too am making the same bet as you.
He's got his little dice.
Yeah, he says, I will not allow Dressrosa, once a symbol of peace, to go to war. Which is like... It kind of adds to, like, the mystery and intrigue of his character. Like,
Fujitora.
yeah,
That's
what
baller,
does he
man.
really want, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It's baller.
because, like, a lot of characters, you know what they really want. And, like, him, it's like, what do you want, man?
It's kind of ambiguous.
He's kind of just another like Aokiji type.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think so too. He's really similar.
Aokiji left and he was replaced by another type of Aokiji.
Yeah.
Kind of like
It's a little bit
Justice.
redundant, but I think there's enough about it that's kind of different.
he's
I don't
blind,
think
I
they
mean,
were
that's
going for, like, another person to, like... I think he just really needed someone, like, really strong to come into and be the Marines. And he was like, oh, this is something that I kind of haven't done, because he is blind, and we haven't had another blind guy that's really good at fighting, have we?
He was like a bounty hunter, right?
Oh!
No, wasn't he? He was in the army, wasn't he?
No, they revealed
I don't
something.
remember.
They revealed something, I don't remember.
Fact check.
Hold on, please. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Fujitora.
If I remember correctly, I think he was like a hired gun or a mercenary or something. But he does have this sort of justice about him, which I kind of like. But it is like Aokiji very much. I don't think it's redundant or anything, but
Yeah. I don't draw
he's
him
a cool
too
character.
similarly to Aokiji. Like, it's similar in that you don't really know what they want, and they're kind of mysterious dudes. But like,
yeah.
I don't know. He said a lot more stuff than Aokiji has.
What if
I like what they stand for.
What if Sakazuki hiring Fujitora is just like his way of just like sort of recompensating the fact that like Aokiji got fired, where it's just kind of like he hires because it was Sakazuki who hired Fujitora, right?
Is that Akainu?
Akainu, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like because he fought Aokiji because of his principles, right? His values,
Yeah,
and it's like, and he's like, oh, dude, no, there's this like way better guy I'm gonna hire anyway. His name's Fujitora, and like they're like, it's kind of the same guy, dude. He's even black,
Yeah.
you know. And he's like, no, he's totally different. you know what I mean?
No,
Just, like,
this
totally,
guy's
like, in
legit. I
denial.
promise.
Akainu is just like a really shitty judge of character.
To move on, goes back to the 2-on-2s between Luffy and Law against Doffy and Treball.
And the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. What's his name?
Bellamy.
Bellamy.
That's it,
The
Bellamy.
Hyena. Hey Hyena. He says, I know everything about your ability. We originally wanted the Ope-Ope no me. So
He's actually like a guy from the 20s. I know everything about your abilities, hey? I read it in the papers. You can't fool me, kid.
a radio knife creates a different kind of incision than a normal amputation. It's basically used against so it's basically a hockey swing, a hockey slash, like because it works.
So he should basically be dead, man.
Yeah, so he should be dead. But just the not as strong with this one.
I'm guessing that it's like the radio knife kind of like has a sort of electrical current though that basically kind of like disallows this.
A salty current, you mean?
A salty current?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
For sea stone?
Oh no! Well, I mean, no,
I thought you were.
you
I thought you were pulling out some real science there for a second.
No, I mean because the radio knife is an actual surgical tool.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe there's like his the radio knife uses like an electrical current basically that prevents because he has electrical powers. He has the defibrillator move that he uses because his whole theme is like being a doctor, right?
Yeah.
So I mean I think the radio knife has like a current that basically prevents liquid from coming up together. Which I mean he even says
from matter in general from like recombobulating.
Yeah, but I mean
I kind of just assumed he used. Oh wait. So it's safe to assume he had his room up when he cut him up.
No, not necessarily, because he can use the electrical powers without room.
Well, isn't his whole power?
He's done it before.
I thought all of his powers were based off the room.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he doesn't need the room. It's just kind of like an innate part of the fruit.
Yeah, I think so.
That's fucking.
I think it's
God
like
tier, man.
Yeah, because his theme is like being a doctor. So I think that's kind of how it works, or how I mean I understand that it's like it seems kind of like confusing because it's like wait,
seems totally unrelated.
Yeah, it seems unrelated, but I mean you have to think about it in terms of theme. I think, and his theme is being a surgeon, and so therefore he can use like defibrillator moves. Like he was fighting the Cool Brothers on Punk Hazard.
But that would mean that like the Ope-Ope no Mi means like the doctor fruit, when it's clearly the room fruit. So like. His devil fruit and shit has to be like all like the room, and like his like other things that he does that are doctor like, maybe like that's other tricks of the trade he picked up before he got the Ope-Ope no Mi, because he had to have been like some sort of a fighting dude before he got that fruit, and maybe he used like doctor shit and then he got the fruit and he was like, oh, I'll use doctor shit with my room shit together.
Yeah, maybe he uses some kind of like generator he has under his like clothes or something.
Like how Spider-Man has like those like web cannons.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I mean, I'm saying though, like he fought the Cool Brothers, and at one point he uses the shock move on them without utilizing room at all.
Did the electricity come out of his hands or something like that?
He like shocks them. He like I think he can like take the enemy's like attack on against him and reverse it on him too.
As like
because he uses it against what's his name? Who's the right-hand man of Doflamino? I fucking always forget his name. The guy with food on his face?
Pika.
No, the guy with food on his face.
Oh, Virgo?
Virgo, yeah. He uses it against him, too, from what I recall.
Damn, man.
So,
that has to be separate. It can't be part of the fruit. That's insane.
But then how can he use... But, I mean, how is he able to do that, though? I don't understand.
Well, he could just have some kind of, like, wires or something under his shirt.
I can't give it... like the fruit credit for being able to do the other doctor shit. Like, I just can't. It makes no sense. Like, if it was like in the room that he's doing all of this, then it all makes sense because he can basically do whatever he wants in the room. But like,
it's possible I guess it's possible. I just don't understand the fruit entirely because it's pretty gnar.
Yeah, I mean the most recent revelation is that it can grant eternal life. So I mean, apparently this fruit is capable of a lot of things.
It's fucking OP.
Ope-Ope. No,
yep, exactly why it's called Ope. Anyway, they get their asses handed to them as I predicted.
Which I mean, like, what the fuck was Luffy doing in this short combat sequence where he goes to use full injection on Treble, and then Doflamino just shows up, right, and stops the attack.
Yeah. And
then Treble traps him, and then Doflamino attacks him. And it's like, at that point, no one was on Luffy. He could have easily stepped in and helped out, but he just like, where the fuck was he?
getting his ass
And then
kicked.
freaking Law gets impaled up the ass. He gets like bird caged in place, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that, man.
And then this is interesting. Luffy's hockey defense loses to Dofi's hockey kick, and that's not even direct Dofi. Isn't that the clone Dofi that does this?
I don't know.
I'm not entirely
it's
sure.
Not really clear. I think it's the real one.
Oh, and the clone hits Law with that shit.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. Because that'd be crazy if the clones could also use hockey. Like, if the clones could just, like, fight based on his, like, threading.
Well, I mean, technically the clones are an aspect of Doflamingo himself, and he can imbue it with hockey. So, I mean, they should be able to.
Oh, that's a good point.
Can he be...
It's kind of like someone imbuing a weapon with hockey.
Right,
Yeah,
right. It's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
strings are imbued with hockey, yeah.
Dude, in that case, fuck.
I mean,
You guys want to ratify? You guys want to ratify your predictions about the like balance here?
No,
Or
I mean, I think they're still
matchup?
gonna. I think there's. I mean, they might lose here, but then they're still gonna come up top, like eventually within the arc. I think.
Eventually, but I think 9 times out of 10, if like Doflamingo fought these guys, I think Doflamingo would win 9 times out of 10. He's fucking strong, man. I'm telling you. If he can, he's like imbuing clones with hockey. He's like shooting strings and immobilizing Luffy and fucking.
He freaking caged an entire island in. Let's
Yeah.
before we get to all that, he caged an entire island in because he wanted to. Like,
It's impenetrable. Yeah.
there's like a lot of strong ass dudes on that island that can't get off.
Well, I don't know about that. I think they could. It's just they choose not to necessarily because they have no reason to leave right now. They have things they have to deal with. But I would be willing to bet that if either Sabo or Fujitora wanted to get out, they probably could get out pretty easily.
I think only those guys could,
Maybe Zoro could.
or any Logia. Yeah, maybe Zoro.
Yeah, I mean, strings are meant to be cut, I guess. All right.
Unless they're like super hockey strings. In which case, I don't think a Logia could pass through those.
He could, but then he'll just like be in pieces for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Like bacon strips, dude.
Bargain?
So after Luffy gets wrecked, Trophy gets wrecked in like seconds.
Yeah,
Seconds.
seconds.
They
You can
like
get
talk-
stabbed by what's his name, Bellamy.
Yeah. Or he gets like
Luffy just
slashed.
gets
I guess.
sliced,
double
yeah,
sliced.
slashed. Yeah.
And he like, it's weird like how like Doflamingo's character is. I've been thinking about it more and more. Is like he totally like, okay, like he talks about right here. He was like, oh you like normal humans, you scum, like trying to stand up against me. I'm a Tenryubito. I was like, my birthright is like god tier. And it's like, but like if it wasn't for my stupid ass dad that didn't want to be a Tenryubito anymore, like then I would still be like top dog. And then like it shows him as a kid like laughing and like, father, where are the slaves? Let's go buy some slaves. And he's like laughing about it, like, which is totally like
Sociopathic.
yeah, like how he is now. Like how,
Yeah.
he's like mad and he's laughing his brains out, like, and he's like, okay, this was like a little sad, a little emotional thing. Father, it's because we live in like a shitty place like this that mother got sick and died, and he's all mad. He's like, oh, like, because my stupid father, we went to trash, so I killed him and I went back to Maria Joy's, but they like refused him and rejected him, and he was like, oh, like, I'm gonna destroy this entire world, and he's saying that with just like the hugest smile on his black face. Like, is that like a ominous look, or like he's so angry that his hockey is
Hockey's like showing up in his
like,
face.
defense, like hockey to the max?
And I think it's just supposed to be ominous, but that'd be hilarious if it was like he was imbuing his face with hockey as part of his speech.
And he says
He,
like,
like,
a grown
headbutted his
man
father.
like me doesn't have time to play with you kids, and like that's interesting to me because like the whole like gap between like kids and adults is like not really a thing in One Piece. Like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like they're all just kicking it together, and they're all like random ages and stuff. Like there's no like
Yeah.
like in the modern like Asian world, Japanese world, like respect to your elders is like a huge deal, but in One Piece it's like totally not even a thing. Like,
yeah, that's true.
and then he brings it up now, like, oh, I'm an adult. I can't play kid games with you. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he really thinks about it in terms of, like, adults and children, though, even though he says that. I think all he's really getting at is, like, you fucking noobs, you know, you can't even touch me in my plans.
I bet
It's
you're
really
some shit.
what he's getting at, you know?
You know what his origin story kind of reminds me of, just slightly, is Voldemort. Because like Voldemort's father was like I think he was a Muggle, right?
Yeah,
And he always resented his father, and he ended up killing him. And then that kind of like he had that elitist sort of child mentality. Because like Voldemort, when he was a kid, he was like, man, I'm so strong. Like my fucking parents are nothing, man. And he just like obliterated people. Like he would toy with people. And that I kind of get that from like Doflamingo. He's kind of, you know, from the womb, he's been like a bad seed. He killed his father. He resented his father, and now he's just insanely powerful.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Do you think like, because this goes back to the hockey discussion. You know how it's like the will of D and like the whole like Emperor's hockey is only given to like certain amount of people, and like. Well, I originally thought there was a relation with the will of D until I saw like a bunch of other people that weren't D-bags that like had the Emperor's hockey. And like, do you think like the Emperor's hockey is like a birth type thing? Like you're
like
born,
genetic?
Yeah, genetically, like random genetically, and you're born and like you're gonna be like a big figure in that world, and you're gonna have Emperor's hockey, or it's like. You can train and train and train for years and years and years, and you can get Emperor's hockey.
No, I mean, I think what they say in the manga is, or the attitude they have in the manga is that your birthright doesn't necessarily dictate who you are as a person. It's really who you are as a person that dictates who you are. So it's like King's disposition, I think, it's been said that it can't be trained at all, so it kind of comes from within the person, but it's like really more about the person and that person's personality and their belief system and how strongly they believe in themselves. So basically what I'm saying is it's not genetic, it's really just comes down to the person, because like there could be a family of extreme elites in One Piece, but that doesn't mean that the offspring are gonna be sort of these like upstanding, hugely like confident sort of people.
Yeah, Luffy and Boa Hancock could have a
from...
kid and he'd be like crippled.
Yeah, I guess. Or someone can come from a family that's like not very prestigious at all, but their belief in themselves and their sort of like will to do whatever it is they want to do in the world is so strong that they find a way and they get it, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's not genetic, but at the same time it's kind of got this weird contradictory feeling where it's like it's kind of a birthright, but it's a birthright based upon the personality of a character, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of like contrast and stuff between like birthrights and like what you do with your life in the story. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like that like fate versus free will almost.
But then I think what he's getting at is that the story gets kind of contradictory sometimes because a lot of times it kind of crosses over.
Yeah.
Like
It'll
even
be
like
one point for a while and then go to the other.
Yeah, like even Luffy is like the son of like Revolutionary Dragon, right?
Yeah,
it's like he's got a sort of birthright. I mean,
and Garp,
and Garp, the guy who went toe to toe with Roger as a Marine. It's like, yeah, there's. I mean, it kind of undermines the sort of like message that's there in a way, you know. Where it's like Luffy's not this character who's just this like trash his family like that, like no one fucking from family from Bumblefuck, you know, just like no one knows who he is whatsoever. It's like kind of like in Star Wars where it's like you got Luke, right? And it's not like Luke is like the child of these two farmers that like no one fucking knows about, and these guys don't ever do anything. Like Luke thinks that he can't do anything at the beginning of Star Wars, but what he finds out later is that he's the fucking son of Darth Vader. Yeah. It's like this weird sort of thing that's like fate connects these like people that, you know, that do mean something. But they try to give you this message of free will, but at the same time it's like, but it's fated.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this weird, well, which one is it really?
Which kind of brings me back to the point that I kind of started at was Doflamingo is like clearly is mad at Tenryubitos for like rejecting him and stuff, and he says like, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy this world that they have created," right? Like, but then like in the previous page, he goes like, "I am the world's greatest and most noble bloodlines. I'm a Tenryubito." He's like super proud of it. Like, I'm still a Tenryubito. Like, but I'm gonna destroy what they have going on. So like, there's like just in his character alone, there's like that contradiction that's going on. So like, what is it really like?
What is it about?
Yeah,
You're
like,
saying. Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like I think his character like has to believe that he is an elite. You know, on some level, like he will not accept that he isn't anything beyond the most elite class of human beings.
Yeah, yeah.
But he can't sort of like ignore the fact that the reality is that they rejected him and they tell him that he's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think that does something.
Family of traitors. They call them a family of traitors.
Yeah.
And for him, it's like that's kind of unacceptable as well. So on some level, he is kind of like Luffy because it's like he's gonna destroy whatever it is that tells him that he can't be a certain thing. You know?
Yeah, yeah. He's like the bad egg version of Luffy.
Yeah.
The
Very
gang.
similar, like very similar personality traits. Differed by pretty huge personality traits.
Yeah,
still
yeah.
At the same time,
And they even had like the thing where he was like, "Oh, like, don't fuck with my family," and like that's kind of something that Luffy has a lot of going on. It's interesting, man. I love this shit. All right, to move to the Ope-Ope fruit, chapter 761. Quick little aside here. Port Town suffers sea monster invasion, guys. Did you see the news?
Yeah, so I mean, I was kind of wondering, right? Like, it could be either two things: either the sea monsters are going on a rampage because they're looking for the little kitty fish, or maybe the new fisherman pirates are like at it again or something. I don't know, because I mean, weren't those the new fisherman pirates monsters? Because I remember specifically that bear Sea King and that lion Sea King were ones they were riding.
And the seahorse. I don't remember that thing though. I remember.
I don't remember that.
I don't know what you're
the bear and
talking
the lion,
about.
though, for sure. Those were ones they were riding on.
I don't remember the bear. I remember the lion and the seahorse thing.
You know what it could be is like maybe Shirahoshi's kind of fucking up the like Sea Kings. You know how she can control them apparently?
Yeah.
Maybe she's not doing it on purpose, but she's kind of like
Indirectly,
she can't control it. Now that she's awakened it, she can't really control it. So she's kind of like sending these Sea Kings like weird mixed signals, and they're like going on a rampage.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like subliminally like kill the Jews. Something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like attacking towns now, like gonna eat every Jew.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing that I really like about One Piece is that like sometimes the cover stories are like totally unrelated to anything, and sometimes they tie in big time. Like,
yeah, I mean, I had the feeling that this was going to, because I mean, Oda's not the kind of person who wastes too much screen space, you know? Like, if he's gonna go ahead and do this sort of like side arc thing, even if it initially starts to not have anything to do with anything, it eventually usually ties in somewhere, especially if he's gonna create a consistency throughout like 7 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the feeling for sure it was gonna eventually get to something relevant, and I think that's probably what's gonna happen right now.
like I didn't actually see this when it happened, but I went back and like looked through all of them, or as in like someone had stored all of them on one website, and I like went
that's
through all of
cool. Nice.
them. And the ones where it shows Eno going to the moon.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever like see those?
Yeah.
I never paid close attention to those.
Dude, those are kind of like a big deal. It reveals a lot of shit. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
shows
does.
all 3 of the special weapons or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
What?
it shows them in like hieroglyphs, but like,
There's like a lot of theories that came out of that side arc, because they were saying they think that the Tenryubito are actually aliens that came. They're like the moon people. And I've been hearing a lot of random theories.
yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to like that weird.
Do you have that? Do you have that link in mind to share it to the podcast?
I don't.
You don't? So
I remember I
Google
saw it
I
at the
guess.
time. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I closed the page and I just
Okay.
never
Well,
looked at
sorry
it again.
guys. Just Google it.
You can probably find
Yeah,
it
you
pretty
can find
easily
it,
out
yeah.
there.
Google works, guys. It works.
Google is a thing.
You can even try Bing if you want. Don't. All right, to move on to the next chapter, they're using trank darts to prevent the animals from hurting themselves. It shows like pirates like looting the place, and it goes, oh, Admiral and freaking Sabo have stopped fighting. And then it says, like, they're too tired to continue. That's the bullshit that, like, they told their subordinates, but, like...
It was definitely, like, a political sort of, like, stance, I guess, or agreement they kind of came to.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, yeah, I realize that the Marines aren't really helping the situation here, and I wish I could do something about it, but I have orders, and on some level, there's certain things that I'm not allowed to take control over.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you, on the other hand, that's your whole purpose, so I'm gonna let you do whatever it is you need to do, and I'm just gonna wait it out and see if Luffy actually fixes
can beat him.
scenario.
Yeah, because basically what I have as the understanding is that, like, they're fighting, and Fujitora realizes that, like, me fighting with Sabo here would prove nothing. Like, if I beat him as, like, you know, the second in command of the Revolution Army, that's a big deal. That's a big blow that they take. But maybe he doesn't think that he could beat him, like, as, like, a guaranteed thing. Like, maybe if they fought it out, and, like...
Or, I mean, even, I feel like he doesn't want to. You know? Like, I feel like on some level...
Well, as a Marine, like...
As a Marine, he that's his job.
Yeah.
But I think on some level,
I think he doesn't...
appreciates what the Revolution Army stands for. And I think on some level, he wants them to succeed. I think. Because I think he wants them to succeed where the Marines fail to make justice happen.
Yeah,
you know
so,
what I mean?
so that's like what I was trying to say, is that, like, he's, like, weighing his options. Like, he can't, like, beat him quickly enough and guaranteed enough to where, like, if he beats him, then they can focus on everything here. If he fights him, it's going to be a long ass, like, painful ass fight that's going to cause a lot of damage to that island.
Mm-hmm.
So he decides, like, all right, I'm going to let Sabo do what he needs to do, and I'm going to play my cards on Luffy to make this right. Like, just as he said, my dice are on Luffy. Like,
yeah. So basically, he's a lazy bastard.
Yeah, basically, he doesn't want to do shit except for drink and gamble.
Yeah.
Like an old Chinese guy. Maybe smoke some opium, too. You lazy bastard. This is me calling you out.
Do you guys think Sabo's gonna go join Luffy in the fight?
No, I don't think so, because if he did, that would just turn the... Well, I mean, I'd be down to see that, but it would just turn the tide way too much, I feel like. I don't think Doflamino would have a chance if all three of them...
But, like, what if Sabo he's reiterated so many times, like, I only engaged this guy because I care about my brother, and, like, he does, obviously, so why wouldn't he go help Luffy, who's clearly in peril?
I think because, Sabo on some level believes that, you know, this
Luffy
is kind
can
of...
win.
Yeah, I think he does believe that Luffy can win, but I think also he wants Luffy to win by himself.
That's like the same kind of like arrogance that probably got Ace killed, right? In a sense, maybe like he thought.
But I think what Sabo believes is that Luffy needs to win this on his not really on his own because he's with Law, but he wants Luffy to win on his own circumstances, because I mean, if the guy wants to be Pirate King, then he has to deal with these people that are really, really strong and be able to do that on his own, because he's not going to always be able to be there for him.
Like, if the Pirate King can't beat, like, Doflamino...
Yeah, then he's not going to be the Pirate King.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think on some level he wants his little brother to
He's got to earn the title, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't there kind of like... Doesn't Sabo have a bit of an investment, though, in stopping Doflamino also? Like, I don't buy that he... But I don't buy that he just wants Luffy to beat him by himself. I haven't seen an indication that would, like, make me think that Sabo is that kind of guy.
I think that he would have he definitely has motive to stop Doflamino, but he can do that on the underground though, because the Revolutionary Army didn't come to kill Doflamino, they came to investigate the port, in my opinion. So I think that's where they're gonna go, and that's what they're gonna try to investigate and find out.
Luffy beats the dude, and then
they do all
Sabo
the political
beats the organization.
Well, as far, I guess they're stuck on the island now, so they really have no choice but to stop Doflamino. I think if Sabo wants to sit back, his reason is pretty weak, but I'd be down to see him join the fight. If Fujitora is not going to do anything.
The way it's going, the fight, like, maybe they even need Sabo to beat him. Like, the way it does not look good right now. Like, Luffy's getting stopped.
This happens all the time in One Piece, though, you know? It's like, the characters like, I mean, think back to, because, I mean, this arc parallels, the, Alabasta Kingdom arc, like, really, really strongly. And in that one, fucking Luffy died like 4 times before he successfully beat Crocodile. So, I mean, I don't think that same thing is going to happen here. But I mean, if it takes that much of a sort of like a beating before he can finally come up top.
Well, to go on that example though, like every time that he was defeated, he was helped to like go back at him, help to go back at him, help to go back at him. So like, if Sabo doesn't come to help him, then like, you know, like.
Well, that's not true though. I mean, because Fire Fist Ace was there, but he didn't save Luffy out of the fight against Crocodile. He never like rose him out of the ground. You know, like other people, I guess, kind of helped him. Like I remember Robin pulled him out of the sand dune that he fell into. But
Someone else gave him water or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but I mean, he has plenty of allies now that will do that for him. You know, if it comes down to that.
But his allies are getting wrecked too, man.
Dude, no, his allies are doing fine right now. They're doing all right. Like the King, Usopp, what's her fucking face?
Well, everyone the way everyone is like placed in the arc right now, they're not gonna help him basically.
Well, I don't know about. I mean, because it's what Robin, Barto, and what's his name?
Zoro.
Cavendish. They're going 3-1 against Super Saiyan 3 guy, and I don't think that's going to be too difficult for all three of them to take that guy out.
Yeah, it won't.
We still have the Diamante versus the 2. I guess that's kind of up in the air. But then
and Pika.
But I mean, what's that?
Kairos is still fighting.
Yeah, and then I feel
Pika,
like
Pika and Zoro.
Yeah, I feel like Zoro.
No, he won't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have an issue there.
But Zoro has a different issue. He's bad with directions. So
yeah, so
he'll
he'll never get there. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think Sabo has like a familial obligation to go help.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go like with what John's saying. Like based on like motive and stuff, Sabo should go help. Like based on motive, like
if Fujitora is not gonna stop him, then I don't see why he doesn't.
Yeah, that was like the whole reason that Fujitora was fighting him, so that he couldn't go like do what he needed to do. And it's not guaranteed that what he needed to do is like beat Doflamingo, but what he needed to do was probably something very important to like the fight against Doflamingo and what he's doing.
I mean, I think that it could be very cool if that were to happen. I don't really necessarily have too much of an objection to it, but I feel like he's not going to intercept, because if he does, then I think it becomes too easy for our protagonist. And really, I think in terms of story, we want the protagonist
to have hardship,
to fight and win out. And so
fuck that, man. I want to see him fight like with Sabo, dude. My dream was like to see Luffy and Ace fight, and together, right? We didn't see that
tag team, bro.
Too much. We saw a little bit of that before Ace died, I guess, but
got raped.
Dude, I want to see Sabo and Luffy, man. I don't want to see them taking on fodder. I want to see them taking on the baddest motherfucker in this place.
Because right now
they have the chance.
That can happen later.
That's just me though. That's my subjective.
That could be Luffy and Sabo taking on Akainu later on. That's the baddest motherfucker. I don't think Doflamingo is the baddest motherfucker. He's like the first big enemy of the new age, but he's not the baddest motherfucker. Like he's Kaido's bitch. Kaido is a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? Luffy needs to be able to beat Doflamingo on his own alliance, in my opinion, which is people on his own level. Because I think that Sabo is stronger than both of them at this point.
I would like to throw in that seeing Luffy and Sabo fight right now is basically like seeing Luffy, Sabo, and Ace fight right now as a team.
Kinda.
Because Sabo basically just became Ace plus his Dragon Claw shit. Like,
yeah.
Symbolically, yeah.
I feel like
it's more like a fan service like perspective from my point of view. Like, I would like to see them.
But
fight
Oda
together.
doesn't live for the fan service. He lives for the thrills, bro.
Dude, have you seen Nami's titties?
That's
all
for
about
his
the
own
fan
service, dude. That's for his own service, and you know that.
Wait, whose titties?
Nami.
Nami's titties?
Yeah, Nami's titties.
Post time skip, dude. They grew like 2 cups, dude.
Yeah, like 4 cups.
All she does is wear a bikini.
I think all the girls' titties like grew 4 cups.
Yeah.
Dude, Shirahoshi, man. Luffy can't even play with those, dude. Those are too
mountainous, dude.
All right, let's go back to something that's cool here. This is he a vice admiral or vice captain?
Yeah, vice admiral Maynard. He gets like one-shotted by Barto. Like earlier.
Oh, this was him.
Yeah, he got like owned by Barto. he got like beat off screen. It was retarded.
It shows the Marines being helpful. It says control the chaos because like a lot of shit is going down. So they're like subduing people. They're fighting against pirates. Like it shows like what the. He's like a little boy getting wrecked by 2 giant blonde-haired dudes.
Whoa, bro.
This is symbolic, dude. This is the Japanese getting bullied by
the Americans.
Aryans, dude. Aryans,
Wait, what
dude.
page are you looking at?
I was looking at page 6, the freaking the panel where like the ugly ass Bellamy and Dofi's coming at him, and he's just sitting there like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah, this is symbolic of American imperialism. Very subtle.
We're not reading into it at all. This is. I think this is very surface material here.
Yeah,
It's
and
very
class
clear.
warfare.
And class warfare. And I think there's a little
Damn,
commentary
Oda.
on feminism here.
Yeah, because
And apartheid. I think really what he's
Apartheid,
getting at is
and homosexuality, because
Yeah.
Doflamingo's kind of
yeah,
flamboyant.
he's a little.
You know how? Okay, so Doflamingo's like by regular standards, he looks pretty normal, like because he's Tenryubito, right? And they've been shown to be kind of like, ghoulish or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like very
What do you? Yeah, sort of like inbred.
gimpy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Inbred.
what
Inbred.
if-
That's the word.
What do you? It'd be funny if like he was cross-eyed or something. That's why he wears. That's why he wears the dark sunglasses.
Yeah, he takes them off and he's just like
Exactly.
retarded looking.
They're like severely crossed.
Like, you guys
Or
see
he has
the
like
Water
a-
Boy? You
Yeah,
guys remember
yeah.
the Water Boy, the one guy that's on the team that like talks like, like
Yeah.
what the
He's cross-eyed.
I think,
Or like in Mr. Deeds, like Steve Buscemi plays like
oh yeah,
the lazy eye guy.
crazy
Crazy
eyes,
eyes,
crazy
yeah.
eyes. Peanut butter and gumballs, my favorite.
Yeah. That's like his birth defect.
French fries and
hilarious.
Oreos. You know me too well, Deet. Alright, I watched that movie like a million times, guys. Forgive me, right?
Dude, I love that movie.
Alright, my little thing into now that we've talked about that is maybe Doflamingo, the reason that he's like all buff and not like weird looking like the other Tenryubito were, like the people from Wall-E.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
Is that like his mom maybe was
He
like
got gains, dude. That's what. that's really what it's about. He got gains.
maybe his mom was a normal person and his dad didn't choose to not be a Tenryubito anymore but was kicked out.
Whoa.
But then I don't know. But then why would? Because there's that panel where Doflamingo's like, "Mom wouldn't be dying if it wasn't for you, Daddy." Like why would he care if he's all about elitism?
Because that's still his mom, dude.
But if he's about elitism to the point where he'd kill his own father because he defected, I don't think he would give a shit about his mom.
maybe he never knew.
Yeah.
If anything,
That's how he's gonna turn Doflamingo into a sympathetic character.
oh shit, like he finds
Doflamingo
out.
never knew about his real mother, and he probably loved her a lot. And if he found out that, he'd probably kind of feel like, I could, feel like a sort of conflict in his.
Yeah, because he's
his
only
psyche.
half Tenryubito.
Yeah.
Kind of like Voldemort, exactly, because isn't
Yeah,
Voldemort
exactly.
half blood?
This has to
Yeah,
happen now.
he was a
Yeah.
halfie. Yeah, he was a half Muggle.
I'm calling it right here, alright guys. His
Damn,
mom was
man.
not a Tenryubito, and that's why the dad was kicked out, and that's why they were living that shitty place, and that's why the mom died. It was from shame or whatever. And he doesn't like, or maybe he did know, but he doesn't want to believe it. Kind of like how he says, "I'm still a Tenryubito, guys," even though they rejected him as one of their own. Like, maybe he knows and he doesn't believe it. He's like in denial. Living in denial.
Yeah, that could throw a wrench in the
That'd be pretty interesting. I feel like.
the arc of Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
It is beyond your comprehension, and then Luffy just gets stamped in the face.
Through the ground to the bottom level. And
Yeah. Fuck.
quick little thing. He says like, "Why does a former Tenryubito like you, fallen from Maria Joy,
Maria Joy.
still hold
It
power?"
was Mary Joyce.
Hey, it's back to I just thought of something, a stray thought. He says, what could a mere human, right? So maybe that theory of the Tenryubito being actually the aliens from the moon. Yeah, because it's like,
Yeah.
I guess they think they're descended from some kind of celestial beings
Yeah,
or
like
something,
heaven.
right? So maybe it's literally they were.
And like he says, like humans are savage creatures. Like
Yeah,
he's not
yeah,
even
yeah.
talking about himself. Like
He's like, yeah, he's not even, he's like, yeah. pro-human. I don't know, not pro-human.
And that even
would
adds
you
to
say?
it more, like, you know how, like, because the One Piece does some sort of sciencey stuff, so, like, genetic diversity creates, like, more, like, awesome human beings, like, they have, like, the best of both genes, and that's why Doflamingo is so strong. Maybe he has, like, Tenryubito genes plus human genes, and, like, the genetic diversity made him
Kind of like
crazy.
Goku. Or no, Gohan.
Yeah, kinda
Gohan,
like Gohan.
Gohan.
Yeah, like,
Gohan
Yeah,
is
Gohan,
half
yeah.
human and half Saiyan, and somehow that makes something stronger.
yeah,
Makes no fucking sense.
it makes
but,
sense.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Alex.
I love Gohan, dude.
Gohan.
I love Gohan.
I love him. He was my favorite character because my last name was Han, right? That's why.
Oh,
Gohan was my
damn,
favorite
nice.
character.
name your kid Go, dude.
Go, Han! Get your ass over here!
Dude, that's fucking badass. You should do
Yeah,
that.
name your kid, or make his middle name Go.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
make his first name Sun. Make his middle name Go.
Son Gohan?
Dude, yeah, dude.
Fuck.
It's happening, dude.
Dude, and you know what? Like, Korean names are like 3 syllables. Like, the last name and then a 2-syllable first name. So, Sun Go would just be his first name, and Han is his last name. Oh.
Dude,
I'm
that's
writing this down, guys. Sun Go.
Dude.
Sun Go, yeah! You know what, Isaac? Yeah!
he's seriously writing it down right now.
Yeah. So, we're in the presence of history in the making.
Yeah, this is we're in the presence of greatness. Dude.
My seed
Yeah.
shall be named Han Sun Go.
Fuck.
That's great.
Nice.
Dude. I'm kind of jealous,
Dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm jealous. Dude, if I was Japanese, I would name my kid Kenpachi, dude.
Kenpachi.
Yeah. I would just name him Kenpachi. I'd be like,
I think
"Hey,
that
Ken."
is a legit name, though. I'm not sure actually.
And like his American name would
Could
just be
be.
Ken.
Ken
Yeah.
Kenpachi, man.
Easy enough.
Kenpachi
Anyway.
Han.
Kenpachi Han. That doesn't work, man. It's a Japanese name. And it says, he says, you mobilized CP0 this morning. And he was like, I'm part of the inner circles of the Holy Lands. Like, I know of an important national treasure of theirs, one whose existence alone, if I made known to the world, would shake it to its very core. Probably talking about the last little weapon thing.
Mystery.
Which hold on, let's recap on that real quick. Have we discussed all 3?
We have.
Celestial weapons. Do we know where they are? I think.
We
don't.
Let's
Okay.
just go
We know
over it.
2.
Yeah. So one for sure is
Poseidon.
Shirahoshi.
Yeah, Shirahoshi. The other is the blueprints that Frankie saw
Pluto.
and
Right?
burned, right? And then the other one, isn't the other one underneath Alabaster Kingdom? That's what Crocodile wanted access to, right? And it's like
No,
king-
it was a poneglyph that talked about the special weapons.
but I remember in the chapter though, he wanted Robin to tell him where it was, and she lied to him. And he was like, "You're lying to me," and she's like, "No, I'm not lying." But later she's like, "Yeah, I lied." I think it's underneath the Alabaster Kingdom. I think possibly no,
Because the way I remember that arc went down is that they were looking for the poneglyph, and he wanted Robin to read the poneglyph and tell him where it was based on what the poneglyph
right,
was.
right, yeah.
So the only thing that was under the Alabaster Kingdom to me was like the
that
poneglyph
poneglyph?
just saying where it was. That's how I remember it.
I feel like there was something in the epilogue of that arc though, where the king was like, "Thank you for not saying it," because I think he knew where it was. We'd have to do research. Do you remember at all, John?
Well, he could have told.
She
She could have told Crocodile where it was after reading it.
But she did it. She chose not to, though.
Yeah, so that's what he might be talking about. Like, thank you for not revealing where it was.
Oh, okay.
Would that information be on just one poneglyph? Isn't
No,
it
that's what she's
kind of
looking
like
for.
a
It's on
series?
multiple.
Isn't it a puzzle?
No. She's looking for the multiple poneglyphs because she wants to know the history, the lost history.
The lost history.
But
right?
I mean, I think that poneglyph tells where whatever weapon that is.
Oh damn!
Here, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Alabaster Arc 1.
Fact check.
Fact check. Alright, so Alright, so I looked it up on the One Piece Wikia, and unfortunately there is the wiki doesn't really talk about whether or not what the dialogue was between Robin and Crocodile. What I remember in the manga was that it almost insinuated that because Crocodile basically accuses Robin of not saying it, not telling him the correct information, and she tells him no, the information's not even there. but I feel like it was heavily hinting that it was there, and she intentionally chose not to say it because there was a sort of duplicity that was running between her character, where it was like she's got a sad hit past, and she's now going to be a crew member, so you have to have some sort of little bit about her that makes you put your faith into her. Because up until then, she had been a pretty brutal and bad enemy.
It could have been, maybe it's not physically there, but the Alabasta like monarchy was entrusted with the secret of it. That could be it.
That might be what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like also like the king knew that it was there. I felt like there was some sort of dialogue that pointed at that. But I mean, at this point, I don't remember it concretely, so it's just speculation.
One thing I'd like to point out, though, is that of all the places that we've been to so far, Alabasta's, like, the way it's set up, like, their symbols and, like, their, like, shits they have on their, and the kingdom, like, on the palace walls and stuff, resembled most what, I forgot his name, but the lightning guy, Ino, what Ino saw on the moon, like, it had the highest same of resemblance, yeah. That, and then, the Sky Island, that one also had, like, a lot of stuff that, like, referred to the stuff on the moon. The Sky Island one, I didn't actually see. I read that one on the internet somewhere, but I saw the ones from Alabasta. It looked pretty similar, so maybe, like, especially since that Alabasta is still a kingdom recognized by, like, the Tenryubito and everyone, like, that maybe, like, Alabasta was trusted something with, like, the information on the freaking secret weapons or whatever they're called.
Yeah, it could be.
And seeing as there's a freaking pornograph underneath the castle, I mean, that's not hinted enough, I guess.
Yeah. Kind of suggests that they were involved in the history or whatever.
Okay, so I'm reading some of the ancient weapons information on the Wikia, and apparently fucking Frankie had those blueprints, the Pluton blueprints, for like 5 years.
Damn.
So he's had like an extensive amount of time to look at it and memorize. How to make that thing.
And he's probably like good enough at making machines that like he could do it.
He could actually fucking make Pluton if he wanted.
Who made it? Who had it before him? Was it his sort of adopted father or whatever?
Yeah, it was the fish carpenter Tom. He had it, and then he passed it down to Iceberg, and then Iceberg passed it down to Frankie.
Damn, man.
So Tom's dead. Iceberg technically might know how to make it. I'm not sure if he does, though.
Which one was Iceberg again? It was like Frankie's brother.
Yeah, it's the guy who owned the shipyard. He was like originally the boss of CP9, the people in CP9, but you didn't know that. He wasn't like the boss of CP9 itself. He was just a boss, the boss of the guys who are pretending to just be ship makers. But they were actually CP9 who were placed there to take the blueprints.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like pretty huge news actually, that I thought Frankie only had it momentarily, but the fucker had it for 5 years.
Yeah, he can totally make it.
He has extensive knowledge of it.
It's gonna be their new ship, man.
Do you think so? Do you think they're gonna get rid of the what is this new one?
Thousand Sunny.
Thousand Sunny.
I think
because doesn't Frankie say, I want to make sure that the ship makes it all the way across, like, to and back?
Yeah.
So I think
the Thousand Sunny is like equipped to make the journey for
Yeah.
sure. So if they stuck with it, it would be a solid ship to stick with.
Yeah.
But it's not Pluton.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably. Yeah.
Obviously. But I mean, I think there's something about it where since he made that commitment, it's gonna be seen through.
Well, Frankie wouldn't be trusted with the freaking blueprints and knowledge of the blueprints by Oda if he wasn't gonna freaking make Pluton for them.
Do something about it. Maybe what it is because I think Pluton exists, but it says it got lost in history. I don't know how a fucking ship like that gets lost in history, but it got lost in history. So what if like someone like Blackbeard finds it, right? Because Blackbeard's got like a raft. He's got like a fucking he's got like 4 logs tied up together. So maybe he gets Pluton. And Frankie's extensive knowledge of Pluton
allows him
to destroy it.
That'd be cool. Kind of a reverse.
It would be a very fitting enemy.
Blows it up from the inside, kind of like the Death Star, just like.
And he sacrifices his life.
No, okay, come on. I don't want that.
Oh, Frankie!
Dude, I want him to pose.
Yeah, I know. He would be the one to go the most heroic death, too.
Yeah, no. He would be posing inside there like, Frankie, I'm Frankie, like, forever. And he explodes and then he dies. Like, oh no.
I feel like
he's not really dead.
I feel like he's unkillable, man. Like he was in the Vegapunk lab and it like self-destructed and basically his whole like body was blown off. Like
yeah.
He can't die.
Yeah, he's like Sentient at this point. Yeah. But just to go over, so Poseidon obviously being the mermaid princess Shirahoshi. So it turns out actually that Uranus is the only one that except for its name, there's nothing known about it currently. So perhaps that's what Doflamingo is referring to. Maybe Uranus
returning to the chapter. Yes.
Yes. Maybe that's because this is pretty big information. I think.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm guessing the biggest treasure of Mary Joyce might be this ancient weapon. That's
is it a?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a person or something? No.
Or what if the treasure of the freaking Tenryubito is Pluton? They have the one that was lost in history.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like
that's
that makes
how they're
sense.
keeping the world government in check.
In check. Cause
otherwise, like they'd be like, no, fuck you. Like we have admirals, so just kill all these freaking Tenryubito and call it a day. But they're like, oh well, we have Pluton. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
They said what? Pluton has the power to destroy like an entire island or something.
Let's see.
No. Poseidon has the power to destroy islands. Pluton is like.
I think Pluton has some pretty gnarly destructive powers too, though.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
anyway,
all the information here is just kind of technical about the sort of who knows what. It doesn't really say what it can do.
Damn, man, I wonder what the fuck the treasure is. Because he says if I had the Ope-Ope fruit, I'd have been able to like harness its power or hold the reins.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because let's say that Pluton is on Mary Joyce. Because Mary Joyce is huge, right?
Yeah.
It's like on top of the red line.
Yeah.
That crosses between the ground lines. So it's like maybe they're housing it there. And what he's saying is because, you can teleport shit in the room. Yeah. So maybe if he had the Ope-Ope no Mi, he could literally teleport Pluton out of Mary Joyce right to the ocean and he'd have it. Because he knows where it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's saying.
Or it could be Uranus and we just have no idea what.
Yeah, it's just a gaping asshole. giant. It's a guy. It's literally a fat dude who ate the asshole no and it's just
Mucho
like
wango.
Turn into a huge asshole, and it's just like gaping. And it's just
the
shits
world.
every
The
day.
world will submit to the giant asshole. It's like a vortex to another dimension. Just make a
Like
black
if you
hole.
don't, if you like, the threat to the Marines is like if you don't listen to what we're saying, we're literally gonna fill the world with shit. And, like,
We're gonna
just
shit on you.
Yeah.
Pollute the world.
Yeah, pollute the
Feces.
world with just like.
You ever heard of the Black Plague?
Another 1920s announcer guy.
We simply cannot allow that child to live. We must kill Doflamingo.
Damn, gnarly, man. I wonder what he saw. Maybe he saw two things because he's cross-eyed.
What do you think?
I wonder if that's how that works.
What do you guys think? Pluton can. What do you think makes Pluton so special? Do you think it just like has like cannons that can literally blow up an island? Do you think it's
Frankie
destructive?
lasers, dude. Frankie
Do you
lasers.
think
I
it
don't
just
know.
has like extensive destructive power, or do you think the ship itself has some sort of ability to like navigate like in a special way? I don't know. Maybe it can sail dimensions or something, or like time. Are we thinking something more abstract, or do you think it's just literally that it can just blow shit up if it wanted to?
What if it's like the alien technology and it actually flies or something?
Yeah,
much like a not like a space shuttle, but kind of
ship?
like a
Millennium Falcon?
yeah. I guess.
maybe it's kind of like Noah's Ark, where it's like they rode that thing into the world.
Yeah.
Earth,
Well, but how would Poseidon have any like
Relation to that?
aliens then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, do all the
The Sea Kings like
I
how would
think-
they have
wasn't-
brought Sea Kings? Oh shit! Like Noah's Ark, they brought the Sea Kings with
that's
them.
Right. There is Noah. Noah's down there on Fishman Island.
Yeah.
The actual
Huge
ark,
ship,
is there. What was the point? Wasn't it destroyed?
Instead of like Noah saving like the animals from the flood, it's like the alien Tenryubito saving their Sea Kings from the moon destruction by bringing them to Earth.
I don't know about that.
That's how it is, alright?
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
to go back
would
to-
tie in the Poseidon weapon.
Wait, to go back
relation.
to what you said just a second ago, just to clarify, Noah's Ark is not destroyed. Luffy
Okay.
hammered the shit out of it, but they're like, oh, thank God it's not broken because we still have to wait for that day.
Joy Boy,
Someday
right?
where Joy Boy comes back, yeah. And
Who the fuck is that, man? God.
it's Luffy, dude. That
I mean,
silhouette
who
looks
is it
like
in
Luffy,
history,
dude.
though?
Oh, yeah. Who are you, Joy Boy?
His name is Joy Boy?
Yeah, his name is Joy Boy.
He was like
He's
the
referred
prophet.
to in the
or whatever.
poneglyphs as like Joy Boy.
Yeah.
Alright
And
then.
you don't remember that? That was kind of a big...
I don't remember that.
That was like the big mystery established in the Fishman arc.
Yeah, for sure.
And kind of a Luffy correlation with Joy Boy.
Yeah.
I think Joy Boy had a straw hat.
What if maybe Joy Boy is just Roger?
Yeah. Well, we know now Luffy is basically like the equivalent of Roger.
Yeah. He's the reincarnation, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
And then Doflamingo like totally like goes in on how amazing Law's fruit is, because Law's fruit is kind of like amazing. Like it's
yeah.
ridiculous. Like
The first time we saw in the new new world, where he's using it against Smoker, and he's cut that battleship in half, and it's just floating in the air. You're just like, what the hell is going on? It's like fucking insane.
and that's only like, oh, I cut a battleship. Cool. This is like he's talking about like, oh, like you can transplant personalities into other bodies, like he did on that island. What he did, remember with like Smoker and the vice
yeah,
they all
the
switched,
heart
yeah.
switch, yeah.
And then also like, wait, quick aside here, the chick started smoking cigars after that happened, because it was Smoker. And Smoker was like smoking a cigar, and she was like, "Don't smoke in my body." Nah.
She got addicted.
And then he's like, "Oh, like your power is like the ultimate devil fruit. Those who call it the ultimate devil fruit are not few." So
Damn,
I'm not
man.
interested in any of that shit. The pinnacle technique of this fruit is the ability to grant eternal life, ageless surgery, but doing so will cause the user to forfeit his own life. So that's like a huge thing. He wouldn't go over that unless Law was going to give that to someone. So maybe not now, but somewhere in the future of this story, Law's going to give ageless surgery to some character.
Himself.
It's like the
just
ultimate
dies.
paradox. Like,
Oh, yeah.
He just dies though.
he dies, but his body stays young forever. Like he doesn't rot or anything.
What if he did it
Yeah,
to
no,
himself
I don't
and the
know.
fruit never reincarnated? He died, but the fruit would never be reborn.
So he does it to sacrifice for the fruit. Because that fruit, like, in the wrong hands is, like,
It's pretty
a
dangerous.
big deal.
Yeah.
Do you think the ageless surgery prevents you from physical death? Like, I mean, sorry, if your head was cut off, would you still be alive? Or?
Still, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe it just means that you get to live forever, but if you die, you could still die by physical trauma.
Okay. So basically, you'd live for, like a vampire.
Like you never,
Like elves from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
can get stabbed and shit, but
yeah,
they can't
but
die
they'll-
of age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't die of AIDS. Is that what you said?
I said AIDS, but I don't think they can die of AIDS either.
Why not?
Until one of them fucks an orc, and then all the gay elves start, like, fucking each other and spread AIDS.
What the fuck? Are you comparing orcs to monkeys?
No.
That's racist, man.
That's orc. Oh, yeah. Orc racist.
You're an orc
dude.
fascist, alright,
Yeah,
you little
dude.
bastard. You're an elitist. Get out of here, John.
Dude, the elves are the most elitist.
Equal rights to orcs!
Yeah.
Alright,
That's all they really want. That's all Sauron really wanted was
Just
Equal
equality
rights.
for orcs. Equal rights for orcs. Dude.
Alright, and then talking, he says, I had no intention to give you the fruit. Look how you've bitten the hand that so lovingly fed you. He's saying that in like a way, like, you done fucked up now. Like, you're gonna give me ageless surgery, whether you like it or not. That's how I read into that. And he goes like, oh, Diamante's swordplay, Lauji's martial arts, Gladius's marksmanship. We taught you everything you know about fighting, so basically, like, Law is, like, badass, because those guys are all, like, top dogs in the family, and they all taught their trade.
And now what he has is thanks to Korra. So that's what he treasures most.
Dude, what if Korra used ageless surgery on Law.
And he died.
And what if Law is eternal? But, I mean, he can die by trauma, but maybe he's never ages.
Oh, that would be Nar.
And then he somehow took the fruit from Korra too.
Well, maybe it's like when you do the ageless surgery on someone, you give them the fruit.
Oh, you're passing on the burden, kind of? And it did talk about how Law was going to die in 2 years when he was a little kid. Remember they said that?
Yeah.
I have 2 years.
But I guess that kind of dispels that theory because he would still be a child then.
Oh, yeah.
Although maybe it's like, it hits that sort of like...
Like elves. You get to like...
Yeah.
30.
Like, yeah. Like, or like goat, or like Saiyans, you know? Or like, you stay 20 for like a very long time.
Yeah.
And then eventually you might...
And then a beard
like,
just... Whoa, shit!
Vegeta.
Where did this beard come from?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting theory.
16 years ago, North Blue. So Law's like pretty old.
Not that old. Like maybe like 20-something.
Yeah.
Early 20s.
He's a little older than Luffy for sure.
Yeah. Because Luffy's what, 17 right now?
I thought
It's
Luffy
like 19.
was 12.
I think he was 17 when he left initially. Now he's got to be 19 or 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's probably 19 then.
Port Town Spider Miles. Waste processing plant. That's where Law's from. A waste processing plant.
Maybe
It's
he's
kind
not.
of interesting. Why is Doflamingo North Blue?
What?
Is East Blue the weak one?
Yeah, East Blue's the weakest
East Blue,
one.
yeah.
What's North Blue? I totally forgot about
There's
those
East,
things.
South, East, South, West, North Blue. They're just like...
Yeah, I know, but like, what what significance did North Blue have?
I don't know. Which I think all they really delineated was that East Blue is just the weakest. It's the calmest sea.
So basically, your question is just like, why is he here of all places?
North side, homie!
North Blue.
Yeah,
It's
North
kind of
Side.
random. You would
Yeah,
think
it's
that he'd
random.
be in Grand Line or something.
I'm a Norteño.
He could
Well,
be.
everybody's got to start somewhere.
True.
But I mean,
wait.
he started at Mary Joe's though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he probably left, like, because
Yeah.
he got banished.
Yeah. But I mean, why go to North Blue though? Doesn't make any sense.
Because he went to get Treble and Diamante here.
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler
Steven Tyler.
and Jack Black.
Jack Black.
What do you guys think of Corazon?
Kind of looks like the Joker a little bit.
I was thinking that.
He even has the smile thing, like there's lipstick that kind of goes.
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
his mouth.
Wow, maybe he was based off the Joker. Or Heath Ledger's Joker.
Who was?
Corazon?
It talks about how he's like a kid, he's gonna die, and it goes over like who was all in the family. And then Corazon comes home, he's like tripping over himself.
I think he's like drunk or something.
Notice how Law dresses now, how Corazon dressed there. With like the skinny pants and like the flamboyant shirt or whatever, flashy shirt. He slaps Baby Five, just like
Yeah.
cute.
slaps.
He drinks like the burning tea and spits it out. He doesn't say very many words.
He's mute.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's mute.
But it's
'Cause
kind
that's
of
some
like
sort
a
of traumatic
trauma-induced
event.
mute.
Yeah,
It's like PTSD almost.
yeah. I wonder why. what
They
that's
said he's
about.
absent-minded and sort of stupid, but he lives up to his bloodline. He's Captain Duffy's little brother. Some traumatic event happened to him. He went mute. It was probably when Doflamingo killed the dad.
Could be.
Also, he hates kids. You've been warned because Doflamingo was a punk-ass kid and killed the dad. He's got like a sick character design. He's wearing like the feathers like Doflamingo does. Oh, he's dressed more like Doflamingo than he is like Law did. Except instead of like an open shirt with like mad abs, he's buttoned up.
Swole.
I mean, they are brothers, though.
Yeah, it says here that it ends with him catching on fire as he's lighting his cigarette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because when he's
dumbass.
letting it, his fucking feathers are getting on fire.
I guess his, he's just clumsy or whatever. It's kind of a dumb character trait.
Yeah, I think so too. It doesn't resemble his sort of look.
Yeah,
It's not very enticing. Like it's like, oh, cool, you're clumsy.
yeah. But you just know, like, Oda's gonna turn it into something either really, like, endearing or he's gonna turn it into, like, a saving grace.
Yeah.
Fucking Oda. He's gonna play with our heartstrings. Oh, double pun, do you get it?
5 points to John.
You know, strings.
And he's the heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, no, 10 points to John, guys.
What do you think his power? Do you think he has the Ope fruit then? Like at this point, or he's just kind of
Well, I mean, we were just I was just speculating. I mean, I don't really know, but maybe.
Damn, hiatus again. By the way.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Ugh.
Fucking balls. So predictions then, I guess, for the coming flashback.
Law will probably like identify or like sympathize with Corazon in some way as he learns more and more about him. And like Corazon will probably be like, oh, like I hate kids, but this one kid, Law, I love him. Oh, adorable little Law.
Well, what do you think that's about? Why does he hate kids? Do you think? Do you think it's tied into the trauma?
Probably.
But I mean, how could you be like you guess that it was that the father was killed, right? The trauma.
Yeah.
So I mean, what does that have to do with children?
I don't know. Maybe
How much older do you think Doflamingo is? Maybe if Doflamingo was like a teenager when Corazon was a kid, that might be why. It's kind of like Doflamingo. I'm sure it wasn't the kindest older brother.
Yeah. I know, like Doflamingo now, he's like 40. He's pretty old.
Yeah, and also Corazon wouldn't be part of like his posse if like he hated him for killing their dad.
Yeah, that's true. He probably would have like
tried to kill him, like. So that probably disproves the whole like dad thing. I know what it is. He went to a McDonald's play place and he got lost, and these kids were vicious, man. He can't even talk anymore.
They pulled down his pants, dude.
Yeah. They made fun of him. You're a doofus.
That'd be funny if McDonald's paid Oda to put McDonald's in his story.
Well, it's Ronald McDonald, man. See the paint job on his face? No, he kind of has a star like that one guy from Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so that's why he slaps Baby Fies, because it's a kid.
Yeah.
And then, quick thing I wanted to go back to. It says, my dead parents were doctors. Look at my medical data. It's plain as day. And, like, when they were on Law's ship after the whole war thing, after he saved Luffy, it, like, carried on. Like, his, like, technical data stuff, like, was all there. And, like, how he's, like, a doctor in that sense. Like, it's cool, like, that, like, even though his parents died when he was young, and he went and joined Doflamingo's crew, and he got that fruit, and he's all badass like that, he still, like, carried on his parents' legacy as, like, a doctor. That's a little cool thing that I want to get at.
Who? A lot.
No, we're talking about Treble, dude.
Oh, okay. No, legitimately, I had no idea who you were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, little Law.
Okay.
Little Law. Wait, what was that? Lil Toto?
Little Toto.
Little Toto.
Lil Toto.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's pretty up in the air, I think. Like, there's just so many ways that this can go, and there's no real point that, like, to kind of really run off in any sort of, like, sure way that you can say. For sure, I feel like it's gonna happen this way.
Yeah.
We know for sure that Doflamingo kills him?
Kills Corazon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
He does?
He said that himself.
Oh, okay. Snaps, dude.
Damn, that's gonna be... Get ready for tears, man.
Yeah, dude. Do you think it's gonna make you hate Doflamingo more, or do you think it'll make him...
Dude, I think it's gonna be like a Kakashi killing Rin type thing.
Dude,
nah,
don't even,
fuck that.
Don't even.
It's gonna be that.
Don't even fucking go
Oh my
there.
god.
Yeah.
That's what we have to look forward to next week.
Oh yeah, we have Naruto to look forward to next week.
Yeah. Christ. And no Bleach.
Yeah,
no
I was
One Piece
having a
animators.
1 week vacation from Naruto here.
Shady.
Unpaid vacation.
Shady.
Alright, thanks for listening in, guys. This is your boy Jahan. Here with Alex and John. Special guest. Special thanks to special guest John. Special. That wraps it up for this week. We had an intense discussion on One Piece, and now we got all 3 coming out next week.
Nope.
We don't get One Piece, guys. Alright, yeah, I shed a single tear for One Piece not coming out next week. I'm sure my fellow podcasties.
You should just send like Oda like a letter like, Dear Oda,
Stop
if
it.
One Piece doesn't come out next week, I'm gonna kill myself. Sincerely.
Signed, sincerely
Buggy-sama.
yours, Stan.
Yeah, Stan.
Oh my god.